So we are working on the last mantra of Purusha Sukta, in the Uttara Narayana. Shrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyau Ahoratre Parshve Nakshatrani Rupam Ashvinau Vyattam Ishtam Manishana Amum Manishana Sarvam Manishana. So this is the last prayer and also a Palashruti. If you understand Purusha Sukta and internalize that, what will happen? So he says that Shrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyau. There are two wives. For whom? So somebody the husband must be there to say that there are two wives. So one is Shrihi, one is Lakshmi. Actually, the entire Purusha Sukta is addressing Purusha. Purusha is one who is inhering. And this Purusha who is inhering is already indicated in the scripture by saying Prajapatischarate garbhe antaha. So who is this inhering principle? It is the Prajapati, the original creator, who is the creator of both matter and spirit, the spiritual principle, which is prana and matter. Prana is the spirit, and the matter is all the phenomenal world made up of the five elements. So the one who creates both the material world and the spiritual part of the material world is one. And this one will not simply create and forget about it. He actually enters into his entire creation. And how does it end? How does he enter? Inside, in the womb of the creation, he is the one who is making everything move. Ravi can relate to this because we have studied this in great detail in Prashna Upanishad on Saturday. So in Prashna Upanishad they say Ara iva rathana bhau, just like the axle in a wheel. So all the spokes are moving, but the axle doesn't move. But the axle is the one which makes the entire wheel move. Like that, the unborn Ajayamanaha, what does he do? He is inhering in every creation. How does he do? He is the one who will become many. So again, the clue for this is there in the previous mantra, Ajayamano Bahudha Vijayate. So he is the one who is unborn, becomes many. He becomes many. How does he become many? He becomes many both in matter as well as in the life force, in the prana, or matter and spirit. So therefore, matter and the spirit must be the two wives. Shrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyo. Shri and Lakshmi are your Patni. So who are these Shri and Lakshmi? Who are the Shri and Lakshmi? Shri, the etymology of Shri is Ashraya Hetuhu. Ashraya Hetuhu. Ashrayaniyaha means one who is worthy of taking refuge. That means you get security. So what is the one who provides the security? It is wealth. So what is wealth? Wealth is materials. So one wife is all the materials that is there, which makes up of the universe. Another is Lakshmi. So who is this Lakshmi? Lakshmi is Lakshyate iti Lakshmi. One who points out is Lakshmi. One who shows you towards what is to be known is Lakshmi. So what is she trying to show? She is trying to show, this one who is pointing out to what should be known. What should be known is the Prajapatischarate garbhe antaha. What should be known is Prajapati, unmovable, one has to be seen, isn't it? While driving back, we were listening to a very learned scholar from Andhra, Garikapati Narasimharao kada Garipad. So he was giving a very nice metaphor for this. The metaphor is, suppose you are in a train sitting at a station, and then the train on the next rail starts moving. Then it appears as though you are moving, isn't it? So how do you know that you are not moving? So what you do is you turn towards the platform, and the platform is not moving, and therefore you realize that you are not moving. It is the other train which is moving. So which is what is pointing out to the fact that you are not moving? It is the immovable platform. Very nice metaphor. So this is the reason why we have an icon or an idol that is there on the altar which we worship. So what is the nature of the idol? The nature of the idol, it does not move. So it is there, immovable. But the world around us is moving. So when the world around us is moving, it appears as though I am also moving. So how to make sure that I am not moving? You look at the idol. So when you look at the Murti, and the Murti is stable, and that is not moving, now you realize it's not you who is moving, it is the world which is moving. It is so important to know this. Otherwise, taking birth, growing old, getting sick, and dying, which are all movements, these movements will start worrying us and bothering us. So, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi are the movements, isn't it? And therefore, it causes dukkha. So, we are looking only at the moving train and think that we are moving. So, who is becoming old? Who is getting sick? Who is dying? It is the other train which is moving. Whereas this intrinsic Prajapati who is not moving, who is you are not moving, because the only way to know is that which is not moving. So what Lakshmi does is, she will ask you, look at that unmoving thing. By looking at that unmoving thing, you will realize that you are not the one who is moving, but it is the world who is moving. What is the world? Shri. So Shrihi Ashrayamanaha, that means which is giving you, Ashraya means what? Which is giving you a point of reference. Ashrayam also means not only security and a location, providing a locus, but it is the one which is creating you the illusion that you are moving. Therefore, what is this Lakshmi? What does she do? She is also known as Shobhana Rupa, or also known as Anurupa Shobha. That means perfectly, appropriately resplendent. That is why we do Lakshmi Puja. There is not even a trace of dullness as far as Lakshmi is concerned, because Lakshmi is the one who is pointing out to the immovable. If she has to point out to the immovable, she cannot be moving. So she points out to this, and then so the scholars give the etymology of Lakshmi is Deepti Lakshana Chit Rupini Lakshmi. Chit Rupini. Chit means it is the consciousness in all living beings. This consciousness in all the living beings is immovable. And that is unborn and undying. And where is that? It is in yourself. And therefore we have to link the mantra, earlier mantra, which is Prajapatis Charati Garbhe Antaha Prajapati, this creator He is making everything move by residing in the womb of yourself. Garbhe antaha. And what is the nature? Ajayamanaha. But how does it look like? Bahudha vijayate. It looks as though it is manifesting in many variety. So, therefore, Shrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyau Ahoratre. These two are, one is day. Day means what? Clarity, perfection, no confusion. Night means imperfect, confusion, clouding, hiding. So therefore, Ahoratre Parshve, on the two sides of this immovable entity which is within you, one is like a day. If you look at the Murti which is not moving, it is the day. Because you are not also moving, because it's right next to you, right? See, even look at it spatially. When you are doing the puja, you are not moving, the icon is not moving. But the world is moving because people come and go, right? So there is a lot of movement, but you are not moving, the icon is not moving. So what does it indicate? What that indicates is Rishyate Lakshmishcha Ahoratre Parshve. This side it is the day and the rest of it is night. Then Nakshatra. Then Nakshatra means Na Kshatihi iti Trayate. Na Kshatihi Trayate iti. Na Kshatihi means that which does not perish. Because it is imperishable, it protects. Suppose I am seeking protection, refuge, security and comfort from something that is going to perish. Whatever support it can give is only as long as the other entity is there. When the other entity is not there, then there is no more support. And therefore here he says, by not decaying, by not changing, it will protect you, because only the unchanging can protect the change. Unchanging only can protect me. Where are you going to look for this unchanging entity? It is within you. Prajapates charade garbhe antaha. So because it is not available to see within myself, because of the various layers of ignorance that is there, when I look up into the sky, the pole star will not move. So for a meditator, the icon, when you are sitting in your puja room, the icon becomes the representative. When you are in the open, the pole star becomes the representative. So therefore, whatever the icon serves in your puja room, the pole star in the sky serves the puja room. But this pole star is also feeble, therefore let us look at some star which will be there unfailingly, but also pretends that there is movement. So what is the one star that pretends as though it is moving, but actually it is not moving? It is the sun. So whom is this mantra pointing out? It is pointing out to the sun. Also to tell you the elusiveness of your moving, confusing as though that is moving, just like the train, next train on the next track. When it is moving, you think you are also moving. You think that the sun is moving from the eastern horizon to western horizon, because you are looking at it from the perspective of the moving train and not from the perspective of the platform. It was I was thinking, how am I going to convey this idea? And then when we were driving, when I listened to that, I said, yeah, here it is. I was thinking of this mantra, and then, so how do I interpret this? Make it clear, So this is Hrishcha Lakshmishcha. Then the mantra should also tell us what will you get when you get all this wisdom, what do you do with that? Isn't it? Rishchate Lakshmiश्च patnyau ahoratre parshve nakshatrani rupam ashvinavyatam ishtam manishana. Give me all that I like. So what is it that I should like? What is it I like? If you ask me, I will ask for only the moving things. So therefore now we have to parse that one by saying, first and foremost, let us look at Shri, and then we'll look at Lakshmi. First we'll look at Shri, because we also have to live in the moving world. In the moving world, for a person who knows this, that Prajapatishtharati Garbhe Antaha, the person who knows that there is the immovable who is my real reference, that immovable is the one which is in me, whereas the world is moving, but I still have to work in the world, I have to deal with the world, I have got to live in the world, and therefore the world has got its own principles for existence. The Vyavaharika Satya is there. Therefore, in Vyavaharika Satya, as long as we are in this phenomenal world, you have got to eat, you have got to have some house, you have got to have a transportation, you have got to have all these things. You cannot live without any of these. So first thing what you need in Shri is the Ashtaishwarya, the 8 units of wealth. The 8 units of wealth, first and foremost, is lordship and leadership. That is called as Rajya. So Rajya in the colloquial sense means you have to get some property, whether it is a small property or a whole property. Here it is also leadership and influence. See, in the sphere of your activity, you need to have leadership and influence. Whether it is just your home, husband, wife, children, or it is your society, or it is your workplace, however the concentric circles expand, you should have some influence. So the first Shri is to have Rajya. So to run an enterprise called Rajya, you need money. So Dhana is the number 2. Then the third thing is, another wealth that we need is children, grandchildren, Putra Pautras. Then the fourth thing we need to have a profession, that is Vritti. The fifth thing you need to have is to deal with all these things, courage, which is Dhairya. Then the sixth thing you want is the stability, that is called Stairya. You must be able to work for 50 years. Isn't it? For that you need Stairya. Then to be able to sustainedly work for such a length of time, you need knowledge. So you need Vidya. But you will not be able to function, exist and deal with the world unless you have got humility. Because the day you show that you are very arrogant, you will be out of your Rajya. Isn't it? Correct? So therefore Vinaya is the next one. So you see how very cleverly the Shastra now takes you from, yes, I want property. If you want property, you need money to acquire property. Okay, if you need money to acquire property, who is going to be there? I got a house. I have got all this wealth. I can't enjoy myself if the second person is not there. So therefore I will acquire a family, children, grandchildren. So therefore I want Putra Pautra Abhivriddhi. Then if Putra Pautra Abhivriddhi is there, you got to nourish your children for 20-25 years. Isn't it? And after 20-25 years, you have got to look at, now what am I going to do? Because I don't think my children will support, or I may not want their support. So a number of, very simple thing is your child will be in one town, and then you want to go and live with your child. You go and then buy a house. Next day they move. Right? So therefore you have got to have a profession with which you can define yourself wherever you are. Isn't it? No, it is not just working for profit or working for money. You need company, you need friendship, you need a place where you can call it as your own. You need to have camaraderie with people with whom you can open your heart and speak. All those things are required, isn't it? Otherwise, we will lose our stability. Therefore, next he talks about stability. You need vritti. As soon as you need vritti, you need courage. If you are scared of even walking out, then what is the use of that life? Go, get. Then dhairya, sthairya, vidya, and of course you need vinaya. This is the overriding principle, vinaya. So once you have this, now what you do is you turn towards the unchanging. All this is required to master the changing and to exist properly in the changing world. So ishtam manishana. So we will ask for ishtam manishana, amum manishana. We will want this also. This loka, this different, amum means loka, this loka. We want this loka which doesn't change also. So that is why we talk about afterworld, after the other world. Amum lokam means the other world, the stable world which is immovable world. Where does it take off? It takes off from Vinaya. See, this is how it links. So you have the Vinaya, this Vinaya coupled with Dhairya, which is courage, will give you Dhriti. Dhriti means firm stability. Sthairya is the one which is Sthiratvam. Sthiratvam means that is you remain immovable. That is Sthairya. There is a subtle difference here. In Sthairya, you remain immovable. In Dhriti, nobody can move you. Can you see the difference? So this is the change that takes place. So therefore, the second one is Dhriti. To get this, one is immovability, another is unmovability. In this state of unmovability, you need contemplation, meditation. So the third aspect of Shri is tapas. To do this tapas, you need to have a strong intellect. It is called medha. And a strong intellect and the tapas and the dhriti, to become immovable, you must be established. It is called pratishtha. And when this is, for that, getting that pratishtha, you must have dedication called shraddha. And you can get shraddha only you are totally established in satyam. And that can happen only when your conduct is of dharma. See, we talk about the moral code. And people think moral code, being moral, is some favor that we are going to do the work to the world. Isn't it? But here, actually, it is a necessity if you want to be established in this stable state. So that is why Vinaya, Dhriti, 2, 3, Tapas, 4, Medha, 5, Pratishtha, 6, Shraddha, 7, Satyam, 8, Dharmaha, Ashtaishwarya on the Lakshmi side, Ashtaishwarya on the Shri side. So these two Ashtaishwaryas you will get, and many Ashtasiddhis also we will get, and Ishtam, we will look at Ishtam, Ishtam Manishana, Amum Manishana. It is possible only when you have, now we have to narrow down our project. When you narrow down your project, the way to get is Vidya, Tapas, Yajna, Dana. 4 stable pillars. 4 stable pillars are contemplation, tapaha, pursuit of knowledge till the last breath is there, that is Vidya. Doing all these things with a commitment of worshipfulness, which is Yajna, and sharing, then what happens? A person's life. Now let us again look at the two sides. On the worldly side, one who has got tapo vidya yajna dana, one who is enriched by tapas vidya yajna and dana, finds his life is purposeful, worthy. he discovers that he is worthy. The world discovers this is a worthy citizen of our body politic. This is on this side. If you look at on the unchanging side, you established in Brahman. So on the one hand, you have got Brahma Sakshatkara while alive. So you are established in Brahman. On this side, you are successful even in the material wealth. This is what even the Veda talks about. Yesha nityo mahima brahmanasya. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 4th chapter, 23rd mantra. Yesha nityo mahima brahmanasya brahma vidapnoti param. Taittiriya. Matraman pitruman acharyavan purusho veda. Chandogya. Brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. Mundaka. You can see this point has been carried in number of Upanishads again and again. They reformat the idea and tell that for all that the source is Purusha Sukta. When knowing all these things, when this teaching was given by Yajnavalkya to Janaka, Janaka tells Yajnavalkya, Sir, after getting all this knowledge, Soham Bhagavate Videham Dadami. Oh, sir, I will give you my entire kingdom. Yajnavalkya says, what do I do with your kingdom? I'll give you the whole Videha kingdom to you. This is, when you go into that ecstasy, I have been told by people, I will give you everything I have, Ashwatji. You please tell us what I should do. I said, no, you be happy where you are. We'll just sit and learn. Soham Bhagavate. You were also there, Ravi, other day when this statement came in Cincinnati. Soham Bhagavate Videham Dadami. Then he looks at it and then Yajnavalkya is indifferent to that. Because as soon as somebody says, I will give you wealth, then suddenly, the eyes light up and then you forget about everybody else and you focus on that person. That's in human nature, isn't it? Human nature. But here, Yajnavalkya is looking somewhere away. For that he follows and says, Mam chapi sahadasye. Not only the entire Videha kingdom I am going to give you, I will also give myself to you. Such a person who can reach that state is called Dhira. So that's the goal. So again, we have got to bring everything to one, right? Here, your life is successful. It may not be successful in the eyes of the Arthakama people, but in the eyes of the Dharma Moksha people, your life is a success. On this hand. On the other hand, it is Brahmajnana. So together, you are called as Dhira. So who is this Dhira? Dhiraha is Yonim Purusham Vijayate. One who knows this immovable thing, this immovable entity. Prajapatischarati garbhe antaha. One who is there. What does he do with material wealth? What does he do with his material wealth? He will do all that. Rajya, Putra, Pautra, Dhana, Dhanya, enjoyment. All those things he will enjoy without getting attached to that. And then because his eyes is always here, and therefore he becomes a Dhira. What a set of mantras. It's so difficult to understand Purusha Sukta.